Hello, this is David Lee. Welcome to this month's conference call. I've entitled it The Legal Mind Unplugged, Understanding the Law and Creative Property Strategies. I'm going to give you my background and what I've learned from the legal system, which is part of a bigger system when it comes to doing property transactions and creative transactions at that, and my experience, because not only have I used the system, but I was involved in developing the system when it came to lease options, installment contracts, and I was doing transaction after transaction, adding a bit more along the way with every transaction to see how far I could push the envelope, what I could do and what was allowed, and when there were problems, what I'd have to do to create workarounds, and understanding the mindset of the legal mind. So that's what I thought I'd give you this time. Now, as I've told you previously, we started with installment contracts, moved over to lease options after 2 or 3 years with the Polish community, and then we released lease options to the general public. I'll give you a reason why we did that, because there were things that you can say behind the scenes within this community that you don't go and say out to the general public, because people will take snapshots of what you say. They create fear within the community for quite often their own benefit. So they would try to polarize people, whether it's legal, it's not illegal, whether you can do this or can't do it. Anything that's new, that's what you find. I'm sure you've encountered this in your daily life. Who do you believe? And people will react on a fear-based level about what they can do, what they can't do. But the practicalities of what goes on in the real world can be very different to the theory. Now, I'll give you an example. You know, and I've given this before in my presentations, you know that if you have somebody stay in your house, a home exchange, whatever, that's a technical breach of your mortgage condition. And yet people do it all the time. You go and get work done on your house, it could be a technical breach of your mortgage conditions. You should go and run to your bank and tell them everything. But does that happen? No, not really. Life just goes on in the real world, and you've got to make a business decision. So what I'm going to present to you, remember, you are making the decisions what you are going to do. Can a lawyer force you to do things? No, they cannot. But if they have to, if they have obligations, then they have to notify other third parties in the system. And can the person on the other side of the fence, if it's a buyer or seller, do they have to have legal opinion? No, they don't. But you're putting yourself at risk, saying it's a poor little person out there in the street who doesn't know anything about anything, and you've taken advantage of them. You've got to weigh all these things up in your mind. But remember, at the end of the day, you make a decision and your lawyer gives you legal advice. You got that? Not business advice, legal advice. And you can accept or reject that advice. So let's get into the understanding of the legal mind. So you've got a practical experience for you to decide what you're going to do next.